Hi everyone, Gemma here. Thank you for watching today. So I've got this sweet little gift bag to show you. So it's got a ribbon handle, this really sweet colourful pattern paper, happy birthday tag there. It's got a velcro closure. I've got 2 bags of sweets inside and it sort of tapers off towards the top there. The final measurements of this is 5.5 by 7. So a really good size gift bag, and no specialty dies are required to make it. So let's get started. To make the gift bag you need a piece of score at then rotate your cardstock and along the 8 1/4 inch side score at 1/2 inch and 2 3/4. Then you need a piece of score at 2. Then rotate your cardstock and score at 5.5 and 7 3/4. I'm going to pop my ruler against the 7-inch score line and I'm going to score at 6 5/8 down to the ruler. We'll do the additional scoring on this panel once we've done some trimming. Let's first of all concentrate on the smaller panel. So fold and burnish along the score lines. I'm going to bring in my ruler and stylus and going from that point in that additional score line, I'm going to go from there down to this bottom corner. So if I just hold that up, so you see you've got the score line, or the end of the score line there. So I'm going to go from there down to this corner here. I'm going to do the same then on the opposite side, just to give that just to loosen the fibres on that to help it fold better. So you've created a triangle now in that panel there. So let's next do some trimming. So I've got the 1/2 inch tab here on the right hand side and we're going to work along the bottom. So come across to the first score line, cut up to the first, then work your way along to the next score line and cut up to the first score line. So you've freed up all those bottom pieces. Just rotate your cardstock and remove that outer rectangle. I'm going to leave this piece whole because this will be our front section, and I'm just going to take some wedges out of this square tab. This is an optional step. I usually do it to reduce any of the bulk to the gift bag or packaging. And then lastly, just take a wedge off this 1/2 inch tab. So if I place that down on my scoreboard or my mat, you should have a piece that looks like this. So now that we've added those score lines, this center score line becomes a valley fold, and then the triangle that we've created also valley folds. Once we've pieced it together, you'll sort of see how those additional score lines help. So just set that to one side for now and we'll work with the larger piece. So again, fold and burnish along your score lines, and with the 1/2 inch tab here on the right hand side again, we're going to work along the bottom piece. So free up those score lines as we did with the last panel, just cutting up to that first score line and remove the outer rectangle. Again, just take some wedges off this square like so. You can take a wedge off this panel if you want, just to reduce the bulk, as this will be the back panel. but it's entirely up to you. Okay, so that's the bottom edge. So rotate to the opposite side. So we have this 1/2 inch tab now on the left hand side, and we're going to skip the first score line and come to the second score line. Be as neat as possible because this is your lid. So cut down past the first score line to the second. So you've gone past that first score line and we're cutting up to that one. And then rotate and skip that first score line and cut across that second score line. So we've basically just removed that outer piece from there. And then lastly, just take a little wedge off this 1/2 inch tab. Okay, now we're going to bring back our scoreboard and make that score line in this panel to match the other side. So where we've got our lid here, just fold that back and then just place that edge down into your scoreboard. Just going to check on this side where we scored it at. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to score at 6 5/8. And same again, just pop your ruler down up against that score line and just score down to that. And same process as before, take the end of that score line to the corner of this piece. And same on the opposite side. So if I hold that up, excuse my rough edge there, so you should have a piece like that. And then again we can create a valley fold here. So I'm going to attach both pieces together now. So using the 1/2 inch tab on the smaller section, I'm going to add quick grab glue along this tab here. And then add this just over the top. So the score line that you've got running through this larger piece needs to marry up with the score line on the smaller piece. Make sure that's nice and even. Just press that down well. I like to flip it over and just go in with my bone folder and then fold this side back on itself. Add your glue along this 1/2 inch tab here. And fold the other side down. So it should all marry up like so. And then you can fold it sort of back on itself there and add that pressure. So it should all fold nice and flat if you've got your positioning correct. So where we've added those score lines now, this pinches together and then the back folds over for the lid like so. So this piece here is our front piece, so I'm just going to fold this back, and that's the last panel we'll fold down. And I'm going to fold the sides in on this one. Usually I fold the panel and then the sides. I'm just going to do a little bit differently this time, just because I want those two larger panels to be stacked on top of one another, and I want a nice solid base because I'm going to be adding some sweet treats in here, and there's going to be 2 bags, so it might be slightly heavier. If you're using sort of a lighter weight treat or something else is going inside, then you should be fine. So just add glue to those 2 side tabs and fold over that back one. Seem to have got my measurement slightly off there. I'm just going to take bring in my craft ruler and knife and just take about 1/4 of an inch away from there. I don't know what happened there. I did prep this late one night, so maybe my maths wasn't mathing, as they say. And it's the same on the front. I think what I'll do, I'll make a note, and when I'm giving you the measurements, just to reduce the size of that. So I'm going to add my Clal glue now to this last panel. So I'm going to attach this down just so I know that it all marries up, and then I'm going to go in with my craft ruler and knife again, or scissors, and just cut to the edge of the bag. I'll show you that now. So just square that box off, go in with your bone folder or ruler, just add some pressure on that base. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to line it up to the back edge of the bag and just cut straight along there. Like so. Okay, so now that the base is attached, you can see with the lid folded over here, we've got that sort of 1/4 inch tab there at the top, and it tapers in then down to the bottom. If I place it that way, it's easier to see. So I'm going to decorate this with some pattern paper. I'll just bring in the pieces that I've prepared off camera. So for the 2 larger panels, I have 2 pieces of 5 1/4 by 6 3/4. So I've got one for the front and one for the back. It's really lovely, sweet pattern paper. I've then got a piece for the bottom edge that measures 5 1/4 by 2. Then for the lid, I've got a piece of 1 5/8 by 5 1/4, and that's going to sit just on the top there. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach my pattern paper. You could do this while you have a flat surface. Had I thought about it then, I would have done it before fully assembling the bag. I've got a bit of a foggy head today, so I'm not thinking very clearly. I'm just going to go ahead now and attach those, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've added pattern paper, so the gift box or gift bag is starting to come together now. I've cut a circle twice in the same matching colour cardstock and some pattern paper. I think I'm going to sit that over the front there, and I fussy cut one of the cupcakes from the pattern paper, and that's going to sit just over the top there. So that's going to be sort of where the hook and loop closure will be attached. I've been playing around with some sentiments. These are from the Papercraft Society box 53, I believe, the one by Katie Skilton of My Creative Life, and they've got these lovely ephemera pieces, and they've all got sort of happy birthday, have a sweet birthday, and I thought this works lovely with this theme. So I've been sort of moving it around whether to put it on the front of the gift bag there, but I think what I'm going to do is add a ribbon, a piece of ribbon here for the handle, and I'm going to punch a hole in this and tie it around the ribbon handle, so it's sort of a little tag that will hang off the bag there, so it doesn't sort of take away too much from the front of the bag. So first of all, I want to attach this piece on to the front of here for the hook and loop closure. So I'm just going to do about a quarter of the circle. I'm going to use a mixture of quick grab and clal glue, and I'm attaching that first, just that it's got some time to grab and set before I add the hook and loop. So I'm just going to bring in my X-cut circle punch, and I've come in about a 1 1/4 inch from each edge, and I'm just going to punch a hole just there to thread the ribbon through. This is perfect size to fit within that 1/4 inch gap there. I'm just going to thread the ribbon through the hole on both sides, and then I'm just going to secure that in place with some hot glue. So now I'm happy with my ribbon placement. I'm just going to bring in my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to fold that ribbon just over the top there, secure that in place. Only want a small blob. Just press that down well so you don't sort of have any large lumps, and I'm just going to do the same on the opposite side there. Press that down and just trim the excess off. So once you're happy that they've had time to grab, just go in with your pokey tool or a pair of tweezers and just sort of release those two sides and just press them down further if you need to. And once it's had time to grab, it'll open and close with ease there. So just hold it up a little closer. So it's got that gorgeous pattern paper, the happy birthday tag on the front, and you've got that ribbon handle. So this is quite a weighty gift bag because there's 2 bags of sweets in there, but that's holding really nicely. You could put maybe a scarf or other gifts in here. So I've created this for a birthday, but this would be wonderful for any occasion: Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter. Just a cute little gift bag. And really quick and simple to put together, as long as you can do your maths, unlike me. So I hope you've enjoyed this video from me today. If you have, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button. It does help and support my channel to grow. If you're not a subscriber, then maybe consider subscribing to the channel. I share various projects on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, usually around about 1 o'clock. So if you want to catch any of those, then hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Any products used in today's video will be listed in the description box below. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.